Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy and Comics, and I'm here to bring you another episode of this week's signed books. And wow, this was actually a culmination of a couple of weeks, and it was really awesome because it was a journey of, I want to say I traveled over 350 miles in the past week and a half on this whole excursion. Prior in which that I want to get involved with this whole story and get all flimmy flammy with my lips and the tongue go flying off in another direction, I want to go ahead and just direct my attention to those of the which that have been patiently waiting. Mark, I appreciate you, buddy. It is great to see you. I hope you're doing well and hope the family's doing well. And yeah, I mean, it's all about the quality. You know what I'm saying? And if you can get more quality, then that's a quantity of quality. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. You know what I mean? I appreciate you counting down the moments like sands of the hourglass. So too, I'm not gonna get into that. Christina, you should be dancing. Appreciate you being here with me. Yeah. And Las Cruces, how you doing, buddy? Look at that. They beat you out like two of them. Can you believe it? You're probably in the restroom, right? That's yeah. We'll go with that one. Dude, I greatly appreciate you being here as always, man. You're like always here. And I just totally, my gratitude. So, hey, Las Cruces, Mark, and Christina, thank you for hanging out with me at the moment. And I'm sure more will cruise on in. As they do, I want to go ahead and just go prep all this together, okay? What I want to go do is explain to you what I knew what was coming up and how all it led to what I ended up getting. I'm going to try to, don't let me scare you off by the start. So over 3.5 years ago, you're like, wait, I'm signing off now. No, seriously. I ended up finding out as I was walking by some offices and then talking to the owner of another shop to go ahead and give verification that Stray Dogs was optioned even before it was even released. Now, this was a book that was more than 3.5 months prior to which it was released, and people were just starting to talk about a little bit on the previews where you can go ahead and get 3 months in advance on the pre-orders in which that you get solicitations. That's usually the first time in which that you can go ahead and check things out. That time period is usually on the first week, usually at the end of the first Tuesday of every month. You usually then, at earliest, can see the solicitations 3 months in advance, if that makes sense. So I already knew about all this, and I ended up doing a video, and I ended up getting then really, how should I say, exposed to a lot of what Tony Fleecs was doing as far as not only just in his art, which I kind of knew from the pony stuff. I wasn't really that familiar. I somewhat on the crossovers when it came to Transformers. Moreover, I got familiar with his writing style, his history, his influences. So after Stray Dogs and knowing what he was doing, I pretty much fell in love with a lot of conceptual ideas of what he was doing after. So that's really what I was then pursuing when it came to, I guess, a lot of what Tony Fleecs was doing beyond the art was his understanding of what a lot of people like in writing and how to really make that really work for the majority of people, especially those of which that read comics. That's a medium altogether that's kind of difficult to go ahead and write for. That was a lot of setup, I know. And I'm going to throw that off to the side. Why? Back to another story. You'll end up seeing that I end up doing another show not too long ago called, that's right, This Week's Signed Books, where I end up got to see an individual, Danny Mickey, that I haven't seen in like 3 decades. Now, I end up having him sign books to then take back to another shop to have Jeff Johns sign. Now, I had missed the original signing event. So what I did, I bought some books from the shop that the signing event originated at, but went to another shop and had Danny Mickey sign the connecting covers that he jointly worked on with REIS Reese is, I believe, how you pronounce his name, and had him sign it, so I then can take them back to the original shop to have Jeff Johns sign them on the second run of signatures that he was doing because he's been so busy. He's been flying all over the country. So that being stated, this is a product of that journey. Prior in which that I end up doing when I end up getting my books and other stuff signed by Tony Fleets, which was 2 days later on 4/10, 2024, because on 4/8, that's when I end up having my book signed by Jeff Johns. But on 4/6 is when I end up having my stuff signed by Danny Mickey. But it was on 4/4 that I end up buying all those books to get taken over to him. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, all right. Now, did you follow that? If not, that was like 6 minutes exactly of blah, blah, blah. Really, what it is we're here to look at books. I say we do that. Thumbs up? If so, not only do thumbs up, but hit the thumbs up. I see what I did. Anyways, starting with the Jeff Johns, I end up getting some of the blank covers. What I end up wanting to do is go back to the Comic-Con Revolution that's going to be happening in about a month and have Danny Mickey do one picture of Rook on 3 covers lengthwise. That's a lot of work. Starting it off with this Geiger, and I still have Jeff Johns sign it. I'll end up having like some type of little thing that cruises down the whole 3. Books. So I end up getting 3. I'm a huge fan of blank covers, and only recently I'm starting to get some sketches done. So that's those that I had Jeff Johns sign. And then this is what I was talking about as far as the Jeff Johns and Danny Mickey signatures. This is Mickey up there, but barely see it. This is the cover. There's Jeff Johns right there. So I end up getting 2 sets. That's a lot better. You can see Danny up top. And then that was the scribble right underneath of Jeff Johns. I think you can recognize him now. So this is the middle cover, and I got 2 sets. And then this is the end, or the beginning. I think it's the end. Once again. So how that works out is so it's kind of like that without trying to damage it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Let me put those away if you don't mind, real quick. I'm going to be right with you. Okay, like I said before. Now, after I end up doing that whole excursion, well, I appreciate it. And I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Mark. And just keep dancing, girl. Just keep dancing. Now, I end up, as I said, doing that whole journey, that excursion, and that kind of was that in it and of itself. That along with that, I was doing other journeys. I ended up going to see Cody Ziegler at Universal Studios at Things from Another World. They have an actual comic book shop right at the top of that hill inside there. It's kind of cool. Also, I ended up going to a couple other signing events, but I will show that stuff hopefully later, but not tonight. And I did go back to the original shop, dropped off my books, and repicked up my books to go to another signing event, which was held on 4/10 at Collectors Paradise in North Hollywood. There, Tony Fleets decided to go ahead and become a worker for the day. We signed up at 11 a.m. and then signed up working throughout the whole day to 8 p.m. at night, and was doing the regular duties as a regular comic book shop, employee. It was kind of funny and played it up well. It was a lot of fun. I got to hang out, and it was a time that I really got to spend in a different environment where he wasn't being just floored by a bunch of people like myself for signatures and sketches. That being stated, I got to hang out and get signatures and sketches but I got to spend a lot more time than I ever did before, which was such an honor and such a privilege. And I really got to get to know the guy a lot more and have a true understanding of what the future holds for a lot of books and his also idea and approach to them. With that being all stated, I want to go ahead and show you some of the books that I got signed. One of which was Plush. He ended up doing a lot of the cover B stuff, or just to say just different variants, but all these style cute variants that are just sick as hell. He ended up doing for Plush. That brought on another conversation about Wagner coming out with a new book called Plastic, which is the second volume of the original story. And I guess he was already contacted, meaning Tony Fleecs, which leads me to believe hopefully Tony will end up doing a variant for the upcoming series. See, I don't think he realizes some of these things that he's saying as he's saying it, which has allowed me to give to you some of the inside info that I can, anything and everything that I can. And that's one of the things I really, truly enjoy hanging out with these people at these signing events, is I really get to speak to them on a level and get a story behind the stories that I get that, you normally are not privy to. So to be able to take full advantage, which I try, it really means a lot. It really does. So back, enough of the droning on. All right, I had to do a couple signature on each one of these, which are Dynamite Guys. I really like this book. I thought it was kind of interesting. And he was looking at me. I go, yeah, I normally don't do a whole lot of Dynamite stuff other than Sweetie Candy Vigilante. He looked at me and said, what's that? So I gave him a little breakdown. He looked extremely interested. I think I sold him on a book. Local Man is such a cool throwback of the 90s stuff. I told him I really enjoyed it. And I think more of this is one of the most passion things. And it's almost like a pain and an homage as he writes it. And I think that's one of the true joys that he gets out of writing this series. So that was some of the, how should I say, offshoot stuff that I had him do, because really what I had him do was, it was the Uncanny Valley release. So I want to not only get some signatures on the Uncanny Valley stuff, but I want to finish out a Feral project, which you'll see. Because I end up receiving sketches when I was at the Feral event, which was just 2 weeks ago. And I asked for 2 sketches in particular. One was, I was thinking of the 2 most just non-individuals that can be so rabid as I can think of. And I seen Tone and Tony just fully just attacked by people seemingly to get signatures and stuff like that. And they just hold their cool so well. So I asked Tony to draw Tone, and I asked Tone to draw Tony and the Feral sketches. There was only one more sketch that I needed to complete my whole sketch that I wanted of the 3 sketches that I really desired, which was this one. I ended up buying this sketch to have Tony draw a My Little Pony Feral version. It was the only thing that I can think of that is just so non-threatening, and he did a beautiful and miraculous job. This was just so awesome. And to watch him do it so quickly, it was just, yeah. I mean, again, this and the other 2 pictures of both Tone and Tony, I'm going to cherish forever. This is the only sketch I had him do for Uncanny Valley on a regular sketch cover, because I had him do another sketch, which I truly love. Grandpa, dude is awesome. He kicks ass. And this is going to, originally it was pitched as a 12-issue mini maxi. Yeah, 12-issue maxi series. It was conditionary. As long as he sold a certain amount of units, then they would make that consideration. Well, he sold the units. Now it's a matter of boom, just to hold up their end of the deal, and let's see what happens. Because I'm hoping for a 12-issue on that. Two separate volumes of 6-issue minis. And then I had him sign this, but that same day, I had him do this. It's holy, just that's so cool. And I really do like this series. This is, if anything could be a cartoon, if anything could actually be marketed, definitely this. This is definitely ready to be. It can easily be converted. There's not much adaptation that would have to be done. It's ready. So hey, I'll show you the Uncanny Valley books that I got done. So this is the cover A. Got two of those. This is the cover B. I got two of those. This is the 1 in 10. And this is the 1 in 50. And I got two of those. And the back's really cool too. I really, really enjoyed this series. As far as an introduction to, I really, really believe that this, like I said, can be adapted. Those are all the books that I got. And I really, this is almost all ages. There was nothing there that was really that frightening, that terrifying, but it was really heart-wrenching. It was really grabbing you. It really knows how to seize you and put you and envelop you into the story. And it's difficult for me to compare few things to almost like a Kanto story. This is so close to the heartstrings that it tugs at, to the fantasy world that it's painting, to the possibilities of what it can be. You know what I mean? It's beyond anything that you can imagine because it's infinite in its ability to be, if that makes sense. And it's a cartoon world. It's so awesome. I love the imagination, and I like how it is introduced to us, the community, as far as a book. I can't wait to get more into the story. As I said before, that was everything that I had as far as books for sign. However, that day I also decided to go ahead and buy one of the shirts in which that they were about to be discontinued. And the reason why is because I want to go ahead and grab a signature of who a person I believe is going to be an up-and-comer, Zach. He works behind the counter there, and much like a Danny Mickey and people that I've seen in the past that started out behind the counter, even Tony Fleeks, they eventually become somebody. Another signature there I end up getting, which is right there across the front. Well, that's the owner of Collector's Paradise. And the final signature I end up getting on this thing was Tony Fleeks himself. Now, that was a shirt that you'll notice that I'm wearing along with everybody else in the shop was wearing a Collector's Paradise. Zach is the one in the background wearing the black one. And again, however, that is not it. If you have left, you're probably going to miss one of the coolest things that I got. My daughter ended up buying me a pair of white Vans to go ahead and have some work done because my sister-in-law had done some work on them. Some white Vans for my Christmas of 2018. Being that those shoes had fallen apart, she wanted to essentially do the same, but I proposed the question if I could take them in and have Tony do some work on them, would she let me? She said, absolutely. Are you kidding me? So this is what Tony was kind enough to do for me. Look at that. So this is for the Feral comic. Yes, these are white Vans. I think I'm going to spray them down with like, what is that? Scratch resistant stuff? Scratch guard? Something like that? Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to smear it either. But yeah. Yeah. This to me, this was it. This, I mean, It's gonna take an occasion to wear them. I don't know, maybe a con or something. And even then, I'd be freaking out. But I mean, why get it if you can't wear them, right? And they are too cheap. I mean, between the sketch that I got of My Little Pony being feral and my feral shoes, it was an event that was extremely memorable. And the conversations that I had with Tony were just as such. So I look, everybody, I extremely appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Christina, Ben, LJ, Las Cruces, John. I know I'm probably missing like Roscoe. Nope, not gonna miss you. Not gonna miss you. Mark, everybody that hung out with me today, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for sharing this with me. Such a memorable event. And those of you cruising in for the first time, thank you. I appreciate it. If you like what you saw, cruise on back in. I try to do this every week. And the only way you can do that is you got to subscribe. So if you could, I wouldn't mind. Maybe a little like on the way out. Thank you very much. You stay cool. You stay well. And that's it from me, Entropy. Bye.